don't worry. More odd things. Major League Soccer, ESPN sources reports MLS Players Association continues talks in the league, makes 10% pay cut proposal. It was 20%. Negotiations between MLS and the MLS Players Association surrounding players' compensation continues, with salary cuts, a force clause, and revenue sharing among the sticking points. So they're all figuring out what they're going to do, and they don't exactly know what to do. How do you negotiate where there's no money being brought in, not to the degree it was, and how do you deal with that? And you got fans like myself, take the freaking cut, get to work, and let's get this world going. Sports is invaluable. Save us from the madness. Get back and play. Remember, I was in Texas when the NBA canceled. They closed the doors to their facilities. I was in Dallas, and I flew home, and all the madness hit, and that's where everything started getting shut down and everything. It was because of basketball. Well, basketball shut us down. Soccer started us up. Get to work. Get to work before baseball, because they're going through their own negotiations. It was also reported that MLS proposal contains the first draft of a force maneuver clause. One source told ESPN that players will be asking to sign an addendum to their contracts, put in the clause in place for 2021. They got major problems. The proposal pay cut that would be across the board, with the expectation that the cut will be amount to around $20 million in savings for the league, and would only be applied to the rest of the current wages starting on a date to be determined. So all sports right now are going through some negotiations and trying to figure out how do they make sense of everything that they're doing right now. And we just don't know that we don't know, because we don't know. We don't know how to handle any of this, because we're gonna test everyone to come in the stadium. We're gonna do their temperature test, which is stupid and impossible. And it's so confusing and wrong that we're behaving like this. But the proposals also ask that the MLS PA to delay by 1 year a revenue sharing agreement based on the new domestic broadcast rights deal scheduled to begin in 2023. The CBA term agreement agreed upon in February stipulated that 25% of the net increase in media revenue that exceeds $100 million above 2022 levels pre-New Deal will follow into salary budget and general allocation money on a per-team basis. The league proposal indicates that the revenue stream would only kick in for 2024, the last year of the CBA, instead of starting 2023. So very complicated. They're dealing with a lot of crazy stuff. The Major League MLS came back and compromised a pay cut of 7.5%. The union is also pushing back on the force of a maneuver clause, as well as delay in the revenue sharing. It's going to go back and forth. This is beyond what I understand, but we have testing problems. So as we're trying to get baseball back in, UFC's in it, and they're doing their testing, now we're finding out that the frickin' CDC screwed up, and they're miscounting, and there was a lot of other states miscounting that we're aware of as of today. This comes from the BleacherNation.com COVID-19 sports update. Sorry to start things off with some alarmness, but a very concerning thing happened this week in a number of states, and the freaking CDC admitting that they had been including antibody tests in their total test results, which is a serious problem because it not only doesn't tell you what you want to know when it comes to testing data, new or current infections, but it also completely muddies the positive test rate, which is one of the most important tracking items when it comes to reopening areas of the country. In other words, if you include all your antibody tests, which much lower positivity rates in your overall data, you're artificially pushing down the positive test rate for no scientifically justifiable reason. The two types of tests need to be broken out separately. Finally, states have been starting doing it, and it will impact total testing volume, and the data are adjusted. So now we're like, oh, what are we going to do now? All the testing's jacked up. The people that can just say, hey, CDC, follow the guidelines, CDC, they've screwed up so many times. Look at the history. They screw up everything. Everything. You can't trust these people. Can't trust people. CDC, they just get thrown money. Deal with it. It's not even their money. They didn't even like earn it. They just like, we'll just take the money. And they're not responsible for anything. And I'm glad Trump's actually taking the money from CDC and threatening them and all that stuff. They need to be accountable. Should be ticked off. But in other news,